Hello and welcome to the Living Life Discourses on the Greatest Call channel, the global voice for expanding consciousness. Surely we have created man and we know the promptings of his heart, and we are nearer to him than even his jugular vein. So goes the good old book. And man is his own store, and the soul that can render an honest and a perfect man commands all light, all influence, all fit. Nothing to him falls early or too late. Our acts, our angels are, or good or ill, are fatal shadows that walk by us still. And that was an epilogue by Waldo Emerson. He, with his student and friend Henry David Thoreau, are seen as the greatest duo to blaze the trail of transcendentalism. And we continue to glean the best knowledge and narratives from the sages, saints, prophets, and poets for the singular purpose of expanding your consciousness, folks, and that of mine. See, we live collectively in society, and because of this, we must hobnob with others. We have been made in a way that we cannot not want to expand. Expansion, again, folks, is the core of your DNA and that of mine. We cannot not want to expand. And that is the truth that we all know. Again, folks, your consciousness and my consciousness must expand. It's a must. As previously articulated, the only reason people take their lives is when, from their perspective, however contorted it is, they see no way of expanding. You know, in a power evolving universe, expansion is a must. There's no staying still. Nothing is stationary. Not even your blood circulation. Everything, even at the atomic level, is in a constant state of motion. Not your blood circulation and not that of mine, not my heart or yours. Everything is in constant motion. Motion is power. Motion is the motive of consciousness. The converse is death and unconsciousness, i.e., stay still and die. You see, anything that is stationary is calling death for itself. And with this deeply etched on our psyche by your maker, by my maker, by our maker, how can we not want to expand? Nay, we cannot help ourselves but to expand. This is the reason we are so much drawn to higher energy and higher expansion. Ever seen anyone with great personal energy and how attractive they were, even though they may not be physically attractive? They draw you in, they influence you, they influence me with their ideas, they influence us with their ideas. And every successful person has that. You cannot not want to be successful without that. Higher and constantly expanding energy. So we are all naturally drawn towards expansion. We cannot help ourselves. And because of that, We get influenced by people who we see or feel to be in that state. However, although we are same species, we are never and will never be the same. It contravenes the purpose of your life, of my life. We should never want to be someone else, no matter how constantly they are expounding from our point of view. We must be inspired by them, by their actions, but never want to be in the same shoe, in the same line of expansion as them, even if they are close friends or family. We must all expand along our individuality, along our unique lines of individuality. And what is that individuality, folks? Your uniqueness, my uniqueness. And as previously articulated, and as known by you all, no one can ever be like you, can ever share same DNA combinations as you are. No one who had ever lived, living now, or would live in the future would or could have same DNA like you. And if the basic building blocks of your personality, of your life, of my life are not equal, why do we want to be like someone else? Why? That will be one of the greatest aberrations of life's principles. There is a time in every man's education when he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance, that imitation is suicide, that he must take himself for better, for worse, as his portion, that though the wide universe is full of good, no kernel of nourishing corn can come to him but through his toil bestowed on that plot of ground which is given to him to till. The power which resides in him is new in nature, and none but he knows what that is which he can do, nor does he know until he has tried. Not for nothing, one face, one character, one fact makes such impression on him, and another none. This sculpture in the memory is not without pre-established harmony. The eye was placed where one ray should fall, that it might testify of that particular ray. We but have expressed ourselves and are ashamed of that divine idea which each of us represents. It may be safely trusted as proportionate and of good issues, so it be faithfully imparted. But God would not have his work made manifest by cowards. A man is relieved and gay when he has put his heart into his work and done his best. But work Again, a man is relieved and gay when he has put his heart into his work and done his best. But what he has said or done otherwise shall give him no peace. It is a deliverance which does not deliver. In the attempt, his genius deserts him. No muse befriends, no invention, no hope. Trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. Accept the place the divine providence has found for you, the society of your contemporaries, the connection of events. Great men have always done so. Great men have always done so and confided themselves childlike to the genius of their age, betraying their perception that the absolutely trustworthy was seated at their heart. Again, betraying their perception that the absolutely trustworthy was seated at their heart, working through their hands and predominating in all their being. And we are all now men and must accept in the highest mind the same transcendent destiny, and not minors and invalids in a protected corner, not cowards fleeing before a revolution, but guys, redeemers and benefactors, obeying the almighty effort and advancing on chaos and the dark. And as previously articulated, we shall continue to glean the best knowledge and narratives for the singular purpose of expanding your consciousness and my consciousness. These are excerpts from Emerson's essay on Self Reliance. See, folks, if I do not trust that the best and the highest is within, if you folks do not see the best and the highest is within you, who else? Who else should we trust? If we can all be like kids, just before we have imported our imitations on them, kids mostly don't conform. All must conform to their wishes. Most, if not all parents, know this. And what does this mean? It means just as our DNA shows that we should not conform to anyone, not even societal expectations and unspoken rules. See, to conform is to give no recognition to your maker, to yourself. You were made like no other, but we make known to our maker that even though he or she created me or created us thus, not to conform, I do not want to accept. We do not want to accept that, and we will go with societal expectations and conformity, and conform and lose our originality when we do so thus. We do stymie universal expansion of consciousness. Insist on trusting no one but yourself. Learn everything you can from people. Be inspired. Let us be inspired by people, but let us take decisions based on listening and trusting ourselves. Trusting myself, you trusting yourself. And by so doing, we do hone that. We do expand along the lines we were made to. And as the verse from the old book said, God, our Maker, the ultimate consciousness, is closer to us than our life-giving vein, the jugular vein. Meaning, if we constantly ask ourselves and our Maker and trust ourselves that we were made by Him or her, and she is the only one who could direct us because we were brought into being by her, we can promise you, we must receive directions. To run helter-skelter, looking for someone to give me direction, is denying our Maker and our originality. For none can ever be like you. To do so is to copy or to ape others' consciousness, and if you were made to do so thus, you would not have to live. I would not have come to life. We would not have come to life if we were to copy others. To live is to have different DNA, the basic building blocks of your life, of my life. We are built differently. So let us follow our uniqueness to our unique destination, and we can promise you the journey to that unique place. All the effort that we put into that journey would be worth it. Whoso will be a man must be a nonconformist. He who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Observe you to yourself, and you shall have the suffrage of the world. I remember an answer which, when quite young, I was prompted to make to a valued advisor who was wont to importune me with the dear old doctrines of the church on my saying, what have I to do with the sacredness of traditions if I live wholly from within? My friend suggested, but these impulses may be from below and not from above. I replied, they do not seem to me to be such. But if I am the devil's child, I will live then from the devil. No law can be sacred to me but that of my nature. Good and bad are but names very readily transferable to that or this. The only right is what is after my constitution. The only wrong, what is against it. A man is to carry himself in the presence of all oppositions as if everything were tied to law and ephemeral but he. I am ashamed to think how easily we capitulate to badges and names, to large societies and dead institutions. Again, I am ashamed to think how easily we capitulate to badges and names, to large societies and dead institutions. Every decent and well-spoken individual affects and sways me more than is right. I ought to go upright and vital and speak the rude truth in all ways. Again, let a man then know his worth and keep things under his feet. Let him not peep or steal or skulk up and down with the air of a charity boy, a bastard or an interloper in the world which exists for him. But the man in the street finding no worth in himself, which corresponds to the force which built a tower or sculptured a marble god, feels poor when he looks on this. To him, a palace, a statue, or a costly book have an alien and forbidding air, much like a gay equipage, and seem to say like that, "Who are you, sir?" Yet they are all his, suitors for his notice, petitioners to his faculties that they will come out and take possession. The picture waits for my verdict. It is not to command me, but I am to settle its claims to praise. That popular fable of the sort who was picked up dead drunk in the street, carried to the Duke's house, washed and dressed and laid in the Duke's bed, and on his waking, treated with all obsequious ceremony like the Duke, and assured that he had been insane, owes to its popularity to the fact that it symbolizes so well the state of man, who is in the world a sort of salt, but now and then wakes up, exercises his reason, and find himself a true praise. The relations of the soul to the divine spirit are so pure that it is profane to seek to interpose helps. It must be that when God speaks, he should communicate not one thing, but all things. Should fill the world with his voice, should scatter forth light, nature, time, souls from the center of the present thought. A new date, a new creates the whole. Whenever a mind is simple and receives a divine wisdom, all things pass away. Means, teachers, tests, temples, they all fall. It lives now and absorbs past and future into the present hour. All things are made sacred by relations to it. One as much as another. All things are deserved to their center by their cause. And in the universal miracle, petty and particle miracles disappear. If therefore a man claims to know and speak of God and carries you backward to the physiology of some old molded nation in another country, in another world, believe him not. Is the acorn better than the oak, which is its fullness and completion? Is the parent better than the child into whom he has cast his ripened being? And now at last the highest truth on this subject remains unsaid. Probably cannot be said, for all that we say is the far off remembering of the intuition. That thought, by what I can now nearest approach to say it, is this: when good is near you, again, when good is near you, when you have life in yourself, it is not by any known or accustomed way. You shall not discern the footprints of any other. You shall not see the face of man. You shall not hear any name. The way, the thought, the good shall be wholly strange and new. It shall exclude example and experiences. You take the way from man, not to man. All persons that ever existed are its forgotten ministers. Fear and hope are alike beneath it. There is somewhat low even in hope. In the hour of vision, there is nothing that can be called gratitude, nor properly joy. The soul raised over passion beholds identity and eternal causation, perceives the self-existence of truth and right, and calms itself with knowing that all things go well. Vast space of nature, the Atlantic Ocean, the South Sea, long intervals of time, years, centuries, are of no account. This which I think and feel underlay every former state of life and circumstances, as it does underlie my present and what is called life and what is called death. Insist on yourself, never imitate. Your own gift you can present every moment with the cumulative force of a whole life's cultivation. But of the adopted talent of another, you have only an extemporaneous half possession, that which each man can do, none but his maker can teach him. Again, insist on yourself, never imitate. Your own gift you can present every moment with the cumulative force of a whole life's cultivation. But of the adopted talent of another, you have only an extemporaneous half possession, that which a man can do and do best, none but his maker can teach him. No man yet knows what it is, nor can till that person has exhibited it. Where is the master who could have taught Shakespeare? Where is the master who could have instructed Franklin, or Washington, or Bacon, or Newton? Every great man is unique. The Scipionism of Scipio is precisely that part he could not borrow. Shakespeare will never be made by the study of Shakespeare. Never. Do that which is assigned you, and you cannot hope too much or dare too much. There is at this moment for you an utterance brave and grand as that of the colossal chisel of the Phidias, or trowel of the Egyptians, or the pen of Moses, or Dante, but different from all these. Not possibly with the soul, or rich or eloquent, with thousand cloven tongue, deign to repeat itself. But if you can hear what these patriarchs say, surely you can reply to them in the same pitch of voice. For the ear and the tongue are two organs of one nature. Abide in the simple and noble regions of thy life. Obey thy heart. Again, abide in the simple and noble regions of thy life. Obey thy heart, and thou shalt reproduce the full world again. Again, all these are excerpts from Ralph Waldo Emerson, his essay on self-reliance. Folks, we are the most powerful beings ever known to us. Our power and magnificence have been eclipsed by copying, aping attitudes since we were not made to do so. Hold on to your birthright of originality. Let us all continue to move along the lines of inculcating the highest values, which are also attributes of ultimate consciousness in us, for it is through these would our purpose of life be fulfilled. Be you. Insist on yourself. Trust thyself. Trust yourself and expand blissfully with gratitude to the ultimate consciousness. God bless you, your family, and the planet. We shall see you all very soon.